Hey everyone, I'm Chris with Angel's Envy, and if you're watching this, you got this gift bag with a cocktail kit. I want to first of all thank you for all your support over the last year. It's been real difficult, but you guys have been kicking some butt, and uh, in appreciation, I wanted to drop off this little kit. Inside, you're going to have everything you need to make this cocktail. It's a hot tea cocktail with Smokey Lapsang Sushan tea from China. Orange, like about an ounce of orange, fresh squeezed orange juice. You have 3 little containers in this kit that have a different type of sugar content. And we're going to go over that right now. So for this cocktail, you get to choose one of the 3. And the first one is going to be a Vermont maple syrup that I picked up last year when I was in Vermont. It's excellent, it's real dark, a lot of flavor. The second little container you have is it's a wildflower honey from New York State. So you can choose between those 2, and lastly, and I want you to taste these before you put them in the cocktail, is basically just a clover honey, your basic run-of-the-mill clover honey. And I want to kind of show you the contrast between some small batch New York State local honey and to the store-bought kind of stuff that you in the little, obviously in the little bear. That you can find anywhere. So once you decide which one of these sweeteners you want to add to this cocktail, let's build it. So let's start off. We got a little mini bottle of Angel's Envy. We're going to only use half of it for a cocktail. So I put hot water in here. Grab your favorite mug. I got my dad mug. Put hot water, but you want to leave a little bit of room on the top. You don't have to measure out the water. We're making a tea cocktail. I got hot water in here, and next step is we're gonna open up this smoky tea. If you've never had this tea before, I suggest you smell it first. It smells like a smoky scotch almost. And we're gonna steep this for about 20 seconds. You don't want to puncture the bag. I've done that before. You know, the tea leaves like floating around in your cocktail. It's not good. But yeah, you want to do this for about 20 seconds. Now this tea is going to be really interesting. So we're using Angel's Envy bourbon. And the bourbon is finished in port barrels, as I'm sure you all know by now. And the smoky component you would think would just overwhelm the cocktail, but it doesn't, because we're going to be using, I think I'm going to use the wildflower New York State honey, but you can go ahead and use the Vermont maple syrup. Will totally change the taste profile. I just put the clover honey in there so you could taste how the generic honey doesn't stand a chance with something that's local and craft and small batch. There is a craft honey. I don't know if the bees know that or not, but all right. So I got the hot water in here. I have the Lapsang Sushan Chinese tea that's smoky, steeped for 20 seconds or so. Now we're going to just use half this bottle. It's about an ounce and a half. I got a jigger here, but you don't really need it because you can kind of just eyeball it. And it's a little less than half. That's fine. So we got the bourbon in there. Now, next step is going to be we're going to squeeze that orange that's in your kit. And I want about an ounce. And I'm not going to measure this. I mean, I could, but it can get kind of messy. But we're talking about a half the orange. You just squeeze right in. I'm gonna there's a little more in there. So that's about half the orange right there. And now in your little tub that has the sweetener, I measured out about the amount you need. You might have a little extra, so I'll grab a spoon. And just get a good bar spoon, and you're going to want to stir this up now. Now I wouldn't use everything in the tub because you can always add more later. You can't take it away once you put it in. So I just get if you have a good bar spoon, just a 1 level spoon would work. And then at this point, if you got a cinnamon stick, or if you want to cut an orange peel and put it in there, that's optional. But this cocktail is ready to go. Make sure it's not it's a hot cocktail. But this is an Angel's Envy Smokey Tea cocktail with orange and your selection of sweetener. And I really did that because Angel's Envy is a finished bourbon. We use port barrels to finish our whiskey. 6 years in oak, and then up to 6 months in the ruby port barrels. They used to have port wine from Portugal, and we call it, that's our finishing touch. And so to choose the sweetener is kind of your finishing touch for your cocktail. I'm going to give this a sip and see. Yeah, that's excellent. You get the smokiness from the tea. I could have probably put a little bit more Angel's Envy in there. You can see I didn't do half that bottle, so it's lacking a little bit of the whiskey. But I suggest you put that half bottle in, or you could even make it stronger. But with each one of these, you can make 2 cocktails. I'll give you a couple tea bags. Anyway, that is your cocktail instructions. It's going to be on. You're going to have a card in this bag with the proportions of the cocktail. And then I want to talk a little bit about some of the other things that are in this bag. Now, everybody has some chocolate. What better pairing than chocolate and Angel's Envy? And this is a Brooklyn company that makes these really cool, decadent sculpture chocolates called Not Just Chocolate. And it's handmade. It says with love. Angel's Envy, we're all about the love. Sharing Angel's Envy love. And now these chocolates look like you shouldn't eat them because they're so sculpted and beautiful. But I beg of you, please, take a bite of that chocolate, drink a little bit of the Angel's Envy neat, or with the cocktail. It goes really well with this cocktail too. And I always say bourbon and whiskey is meant to be shared with friends over good conversations, and paired with good food. And so I consider chocolate a food, so give it a go. Again, I want to thank everyone at the store for really supporting us. We've moved a lot of bottles, and we appreciate it. And we look forward to working with everyone, next week in the future. Enjoy this. Enjoy it with a loved one or friend. And thanks again. Really appreciate it. Angel's Envy Chris signing off. Cheers.